Mick Baumgart here for bombhoops.com. What determines level? What are things that I'm looking for? I think talent evaluators should always go on record explaining themselves. That transparency just means a lot. What determines level? Probably athleticism, motor. What's motor? It's how hard for how long you can go. So how long can you go? How hard can you go for how long? That's your motor. So if you can go the entire game max pedal to the metal, like you have a huge motor. The motor is just how fast you can get your body to move. And taking you through these five areas. First one is does your game translate? Translation. Strength of schedule matters. It just does. Competition level matters. Will your game translate to whatever level you're going into? Where do you score at? How do you score? When do you score? A lot of buckets on runouts. Do you finish the ball just getting it off on high school kids now? Because if that's the case, but certainly the higher you go, the more difficult it's going to be. So does your game translate? Second one's pretty straightforward. Skills. Do you have the skills to be able to play at that level? But Division I and Division II, there's very little difference between, say, high-level Division II. Very little difference between those teams and your low major Division I teams. In fact, those Division II teams could probably win in a lot of cases. The biggest difference between Division I and Division II inside is athleticism, size. You're big, you're 6'8", 6'9", and you're dunking everything, you're up on the rim, you're getting an opportunity to be on a team, a Division I team. Doesn't mean you're going to play. It just means you're going to get an opportunity. So, do you have the skills? You got to be able to shoot. I'm not going to ever look at a kid, a prospect, and say, oh, that kid will be able to shoot down the road. You got to show me something. Like, you've got to show me something. Risk aversion, stay away from risk. It's really hard. It's really hard when you have a kid who only takes 10 attempts in a season and he's 3 for 10. What kind of shooter is he? He's not a great shooter. The third area is your physical traits. So how tall you are, how strong you are, what your wingspan is, what your vertical is, motor is, what your quickness. And some of them you may not be able to affect. I try like crazy to get to 6'4" or 6'5". Never happened. That's out of your control. That's why when people look at a ranking, for me, my rankings, bombhoops.com, my rankings, people will get mad at me and say, well, you're 5'11". Fourth thing is your mental toughness. Can you overcome adversity? In your years in college, there are going to be times when you want to quit. There are going to be personal things that get in the way. Girls are going to come into your life, out of your life. Distractions are going to happen. Things in your family are going to happen. What you can plan for, though, is how you're going to respond. What that tells the college coaches that when you are faced with something difficult, you are not going to back down. You're going to fight it. You're going to win. That's translatable. Every freshman goes through it. At some point, you start doubting yourself. You have that self-doubt. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough. What are you going to do? Are you going to pick yourself up? You're going to feel sorry for yourself? Going to shut everything off? College coach is going to want to see. So, and there's a lot of background and homework that goes into that. And I ask a lot of questions. The fifth area is just your level of intangibles. Those intangibles are the expectation. It's not like, oh, hey, he's a great worker. We really want him like he's a great worker. Like, no, they would expect everybody to be a great worker. Are you? Are you like legendary worker? No, character, habits. Habits are huge. If you have bad habits as a senior in high school, those will translate over. You're not the first prospect to come along. In patterns, there are patterns. Make sure that you have everything. You've dotted your I's across your T's, because I'm out there looking. I'm researching, I'm asking questions. When a coach asks me who I recommend, I don't take that lightly. Like that's a big deal to me. My reputation is important. It's everything. You know? So I don't take that lightly. What I try to explain to people is you're putting a puzzle together. Do kids still do puzzles? Like I was a big puzzle guy. They would be missing 15 pieces. So you would get done with the puzzle and a piece, just a big section missing. Like what I like to think of it as is like it's a puzzle piece. And you're putting these puzzle together. If you do not do your homework, if you do not find out what that kid is about, so if you don't do your homework, you're going to have lots of gray pieces here. Kind of an agenda that is not pure, that is not to be honest, or if you have some ulterior motive, say somebody's paying you, now you've got puzzle pieces missing, and happens a lot, and that's how you have these guys that miss so badly. I mean, you saw Dan Dockage, I think, saying who ranks the rankers. This is one other thing I'll just leave you with is be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you listen to. Not everybody's got your best interest in mind. Media, sports media is no different. It's tough. It's tough being in this position because what's needed is honesty. What's needed is the truth. Kids need to hear the truth. They don't need another fanboy. That's not my role. I always try to leave a kid with something they can get better with. So, you know, there's lots of reasons, lots of things to go into it. It's at least with me, I have no agenda, no bias. I just really, really want, you know, to be accurate, to be honest, and to be respected. Hopefully that helps you a little bit to understand like what goes in to determining level. Does your game translate? Do you have the skills? Do you have the physical tools? Do you have the mental tools? What level of intangibles do you have? Are you a dog? Nick Baumgart with bombhoops.com. If you have any questions, send those in to us. I love answering your questions, helping you out. We got a lot of big things ahead. That's all I'll say. Appreciate you very much.